Lesson 2, posture from the closed guard. In this lesson, we're going to go over what proper posture is, and we're going to deal with some grips, and I'm going to teach you when to stand and when not to stand. So starting here, Alex has the closed guard, and we're going to add one layer at a time. So the first layer is I'm going to feed his gi together like this, so it forms together just like that. And I'm going to grab it with my right hand. And it's going to be just below his ribs, so I can even push on his ribs if I go in a little bit. My elbow straight. Now, I take my left hand and I grab just below it. This is the first layer. The second layer is I need my back to be straight. And a lot of the times guys will, tense up when they do this. Keep your back straight and your shoulders relaxed and your arms straight here. Now I have a natural curve in my back, so I really need to make sure to put my hips forward, to sit low on my ankles, which I'll cover in the next step, and to make sure that my back is straight, that I'm not hunched over, or that I'm not leaning forward a little bit. So I'm sitting back like this. Now the last step is going to be seen from the opposite side here, and that's going to be the position of my feet. Now the position of my feet, I'm going to fold it underneath here, I'm going to tuck it, and I'm going to sit all the way on my feet like this. And then I'm going to widen my legs as much as they go, as much as my flexibility allows for. So pay attention to this position here. Now, I'm going to show you all of those things together, which I didn't do when I was showing you just the first couple of steps. Here, I'm going to sit low on my legs, widen, feed together here, grab, and then my back is straight. Now from here on out, I'm gonna get up on my toes in the back here because this hurts my knees to be in this position for an extended period of time without moving. So I'll do that here. I'll try and clarify when I'm using proper base and improper base. So here I fed together here. Now let's go over our objective from this position. Our objective is gonna be to grab a sleeve and then stand up. And that's going to be, the specific techniques of standing up are going to be covered in a different lesson. So first, before we can do that, getting this can be hard, and sometimes it can be really easy. Let's deal with some of the hand positions. Here, he has a really high hand in the collar. I'll get in proper base here for this position. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duck my head underneath, like this. I'm going to come down, and then I'm going to push off his chest and come up like this. Anytime you're coming up, you're pushing back, be sure you don't do it too much so you don't get swept during that position. Let me go to improper base for a second. The next thing is he pulls you down a little bit, and his hand might be too low to circle under. I can't do that from this position. So I'm gonna cross grip his sleeve here, and I'm gonna grab his sleeve and I'm gonna force it into his neck like this. And I'm gonna really try and crank and maximize the pressure on his neck. I'm looking for him to move and react and give me some reaction that releases this. That's not always going to be the case, but it's still a good move. Let's say this doesn't work and I'm pulled down a little bit. I can take my hand, just like a baseball bat, pull back, get my grip again, and go back to postured position. Now, you don't want to stand when his hand is in your collar. It's a little bit too risky. You could, and you could probably get away with it, but he's gonna follow you up and give you all sorts of problems, maybe even pull you down as you try and stand. So don't stand if the hand is in the collar. Next position is he'll grab maybe both of your lapels here. From this position, the closed guard, Alex, please. From this position, don't stand, just be patient. Maintain proper base, which I am not, just for the sake of my knees, and then be patient in that position. Now, the next position is going to be if he reaches for a cross grip on your sleeve here. Very common, maybe he's looking to strip your grip or whatever. He's doing it on the lead arm note. I'm going to grab his sleeve here, and now I need to strip this. I'm not going to stand with this. I'm going to punch it out and pull this one back like this. And it's a very powerful grip strip. Note that I'm not pulling back with my weight. It's just an arm motion like this. Ahead here. And then immediately I re-grip. Now I've got what I wanted. I got that sleeve. I pin and stand. Now the last position, he might try a grip strip on your non-lead arm. So he might come here, come underneath, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach and grab his arm and use that to stand. So anytime we're gonna use his grip break attempt to grab the sleeve and stand. Anytime his hands come in range, you wanna try and grab it and stand right away. So I hope these are some good tips from the closed guard position when you're on top, knowing when to stand, when not to stand. You can get away with standing in a little bit bad base if you choose the right time to stand. So the right timing, when to stand, when not, is really important. Here we get a good view of how Roger is sitting on his ankles. Here he'll do a pull and push grip strip. There. His opponent will try a sit-up sweep. Here. Roger will take his left arm and put it over his opponent's right shoulder and grab the gi. He'll rotate around and we'll get a better angle on it. He puts his right hand on the mat, will keep his back straight and his head high. As his opponent attempts to commit to the sit-up sweep, Roger will take his right arm, place it on his opponent's right bicep, and drive forward. From here, this gives his opponent an overhook on his right arm. And Roger's never been particularly concerned about overhooks because he gives him the Tazi pass here. His opponent releases the overhook and Roger regains posture. His opponent knows that Roger's goal is going to be to pin his right arm to his chest, so he keeps his right arm high. His opponent will take both of his hands and grab Roger's lead arm. Roger will attempt to grip strip it using the pull and push here, but it's unsuccessful because both hands is a little bit too strong. From this point, Roger will just wait and look for the right time to do the pull and push grip strip. He'll even try and grab the sleeve there, and now pull and push. He already has the sleeve, feeds the lapels, and stands. From here, Roger's against a much smaller opponent. He's going to try and bait him into overhooking him so he can do a Tazi pass. The Tazi pass is very effective, especially when your opponent's a little bit smaller. His opponent doesn't take the bait, so Roger's just going to regain posture. And once he secures the lapels together, his opponent knows that he's trying to pin his arm, so he keeps his arms high. His opponent will attempt a quick grip strip on Roger's left arm, and Roger will use that opportunity to grab his sleeve there and stand. In this next position, Roger's opponent pulls guard. Off the guard pull, Roger's posture is pretty well broken down. From this position, Roger's going to look to put his left arm on his opponent's throat, circle his head, and then posture back up. Let's take a look. Here, Roger's left arm is going to go across his opponent's neck. There. Now he's going to circle his head and push up off of his chest. Now he's regained posture. His opponent will fix to a more traditional hand in the collar grip, seen here, and attempt a sit-up sweep, seen here. Roger commits his weight to the opposite side, and his opponent abandons it. With the hand in the collar, he's going to try and break Roger down, which he does with some success. So what Roger will do is cross grip the hand in the collar grip and put his left arm across his opponent's throat as covered in this lesson. His opponent doesn't react, so Roger's going to take both of his hands against the hand on the collar grip and strip it, covered in this lesson as well. Now he has the grip on his opponent's sleeve, he feeds the lapels together, and stands. In this last match, we're going to see another pull and push. His opponent's right arm is going to grab Roger's right arm. Roger will grab his sleeve, pull and push. Here, he has the sleeve, he feeds the lapels together, and stands.